go. Going live. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Hello, everyone. How you going? Thank you, Kay. I'm quite proud of myself. And thank you very much, Craig. Craig offered. So let me start the story from the beginning. I had a lovely time up in Sydney. Thank you very much. It was great to catch up with. I'm a bit sniffy. I'm hoping that it's hay fever. I've taken a hay fever tablet. I'm hoping I haven't caught a Sydney disease. So I had a lovely time up in Sydney. It was really busy. I'm losing my voice because I talked so much for 2 days. Had a lovely dinner with a whole lot of you guys up there last night at the Apollo. Highly recommend. It was delicious. It was very noisy, but it was a great venue and the food was delicious. So and Craig said to me during dinner when I said, I'm catching a plane in the morning and I've got some customers from England coming to see me at 2:30, but my plane's due to leave Sydney at 10 o'clock, so I should be fine. And he said, good luck with that then. I went, oh, shut up. But of course, sitting in the plane at 10 o'clock and everything was going well, and we were taxiing out to the runway, and we taxied out, I think, to the furthest runway at Sydney Airport. And then we got a little message over the loudspeakers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've just discovered that we have a problem with the anti-skidding device in the brakes, and we won't be able to take off. So we're going to go back to the terminal and see if the engineers can turn the computer on and off and fix it that way. I'm very pleased. I know, Michael, it's just ridiculous. And I thought we got out onto the runway and we were just about to take off. And I was like, see, the planes aren't as bad as everyone says they are from Sydney Airport, and I foiled again. It was just horrendous. So then we sat on the plane while they fiddled around underneath it for about an hour and a half, and then they'd fixed it. But it was an extra hour and a half, and then they had to refuel because they'd used up too much fuel taxiing out to the furthest runway and taxiing back again. And so another half an hour went by, and then we finally took off and got back. And long story short, I got back to Moorooduc at 4 o'clock. I'd managed to get in contact with my English customers and told them to have a slightly longer lunch. And Dad looked after them till I got here. And then we had a nice chat. And then I sent you your email at 5 o'clock and ran around the property with Polly and Tallulah. And Polly's hoping that Jill will get her some dinner tonight. And I'm here, and it's Drinks with Kate. Hurrah! John and Cody, hello. I'm sorry that I know that I've made the food too complicated, I think, from week to week. But anyway, I have my chef cooking for me tonight, which is wonderful. Thank you, David. I've been enjoying my birthday week. I think we've done birthday week now, but it was good. It was good while it lasted. Hello, Dan. How you going? Lovely to see you online. Last night was so much fun. Absolutely. Pinot and Karen, hi. Anne is having beef cheeks cooking, so that sounds delicious with the Shiraz. Fantastic. Kate, I didn't get struck with the strike on the way up, but just had a little aeroplane mishap on the way down. Yes. I did not have plain wine, David. I'd given all my wine away. It was just ridiculous. If you're in a winery like an airline, we'd be drinking vinegar. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Peter and Karen, they didn't have enough fuel to go back and taxi again. Yes, we took off. Absolutely, Craig. But Craig offered his house as an alternative venue for Drinks with Kate if I'd got stuck in Sydney, so it would have been fine. But we're all here now. Jacob's Creek one. David, they didn't give us any wine. They gave 2 people in economy wine who must have been like VIP platinum flyers who hadn't been able to get into business class or something, and then they didn't give anybody else any wine. They didn't even give us a drink on the plane while we were sitting around waiting. Luckily, I had my trusty water bottle, so I came prepared. All right, Shell wants to know about the wine, which is a very fair question. Hello question. Hello question. What is a quick decant? We put ours in the decanter and it sits in there until it finds its way to the wine glass. What I mean by a quick decant is basically instead of decanting it 2 hours or an hour or half an hour before you're going to drink it, I mean putting it, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze all through tonight. I have a horrible feeling that I'm catching a cold. So I think I sat next to someone diseased on the aeroplane. You get wine if scheduled to depart after 4. Yes, Michael, but we were leaving at 10 and we left at 12:30. So that still wasn't after 4. Giving 2 people wine it was very rude, Fiona. I thought that was dreadful. Thank you. I'm going to be sneezing, I think, all evening, but let's ignore that. So a quick decant, first of all, means decant just before you're going to put it into the glass, but I'll show you what a quick decant means. Plain cold, absolutely. So let's get that open. 2017 McIntyre Shiraz. I've been talking too much already and there's no wine. Yeah, I know, Alison, I should have worn a mask. And yes, anyway, blah, blah. I'm here now. Quick decant is, and I'm not going to do it as quickly as I would do it if I was over a sink because there's always the chance of wine going everywhere. But a quick decant means that you want it to go into the decanter quickly. So instead of doing this all the way through the bottle, then you do that, and that gets much more air into it. Can you see how it's all creating bubbles? So a quick decant aerates it. A slow decant keeps the air out as much as possible, but your excuse me. A slow decant is for getting wine off the sediment, and 2017 McIntyre Shiraz hasn't formed any much sediment yet, so we don't need to do that. It's just a glug into the decanter. So yes, sorry, Kay, it is McIntyre Shiraz. I didn't specify because that is the only Shiraz that we make, but we keep going up. And no, of course I haven't, Michael. I had a COVID vaccination a year and a half ago. Do you think that will still work? We're ignoring the sneezes and the snotty nose. I do have some tissues here, so I'll try not to snuffle at you too much. Moorooduc Estate McIntyre Vineyard Shiraz 2017 is the wine that we're drinking tonight. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Sue. It's lovely to be back. And then wine into glass. I'm using a Magnum glass today because I think that's a good shaped glass for Shiraz, but any tulip shaped glass, not a Pinot glass, I don't think. I think a Pinot glass is not ideal for even our Shiraz. Sorry, Michael. I know. I'm very bad. I did try to get a COVID jab before I went overseas in April, and I couldn't get an appointment anywhere. And so I gave up and thought, I'll do it when I get home. And then I forgot. I'll do it next week. If this is not COVID or the flu or RSV, Michael, I'll go and get myself vaccinated next week, okay? Sorry, doctor. Kay's having it with steak and chips. Yum, delicious. Nareem, you had a couple of sediment bits in your bottle, did you? I didn't see any in mine, but I might have just slushed it straight into the thing. A little bit of sediment doesn't really matter. I mean, you can, if you're worried about sediment, you can do a slow decant first and then get another decanter. And once you've got it off the sediment, then you can slosh it into another decanter to get some air, or just slosh it into the am I ready to take advice from a geriatrician? How old do you have to be to get what is it? The mum and dad got their pen, the card that gets you cheap train travel and stuff. I think I was talking to Rod and Sharpie. Are you there tonight? I think I was talking to Rod about it the other day, and he said, I think you have to be, is it 60 or 65 to get a senior's card? That's right. Thank you, Fiona. Kangaroo sausages from your favourite supplier, Shell, with green beans and onions. Yum. 60. Okay, thank you, Kay. OSV from 60, Shingrix from 50, rest regularly. Okay. That's the Shingrix is so I don't get shingles, yeah? And RSV, yeah, I think we've had so much sickness here at Moorooduc. I just thought it's going to be cleaner going on a plane than being at Moorooduc. Everyone's been sick here, and I managed to avoid that. But I think I think my number might be up now. Anyway, David, that's a question. What predisposes a wine to a big sediment stain? Thicker skin varieties tend to drop more sediment. Also, depending on how the wine is made, how it's aged, and when it gets put in bottle, the longer it spends time in barrel before it goes to bottle, the less likely you'll get a lot of sediment, because a lot of the sediment drops out while it's aging in the barrel. This wine in 2017 probably had about 14 to 16 months in barrel. I'm going to have to go for my tissue. Excuse me. This is going to be great television. Excuse me for a moment. I think it's better if I just keep sniffing. I think it's hay fever from that. Mum's picked all these flowers, including lots of jonquils that make me sneeze, and also blossom and wattle. So I'm going to blame it on that. So the better wines, smaller deposit. Yes, possibly, David, but also you don't tend to get lots of chunky bits in wine until, I know, sorry, no, it was a bit gross. You don't tend to get too much sediment in wine until it's sort of 15, 20, 30 years old. So much older wine than this. If this wine was left in bottle for another 20 years, you probably have some more sediment to decant off. People, I love this wine. Michael Woodward, I love this wine. Almost Barossa, but of course this is not the issue. Nah. I think it's very different from Barossa Shiraz, but I know what you mean. Works nicely with blue cheese as well. Really, Jeff, I would not drink it with blue cheese, because usually red wine tannins and blue cheese tend to make each other taste bitter and metallic. That's one of the rules of wine and fruit matching, but I'm very glad that it's working for you tonight, because there is quite a lot of fruit richness to this wine, so that might be why it's kind of working well with the blue cheese for you. Did you say fried green beans, Shell? That sounds yum. Zach and Jack, hello. Riedel Shiraz glass, beautiful, excellent work. Margaret River Gourmet Snacks for you, Linda, great. The wine does have amazing colour, Cotty. The pepper levels in the sausages killed your taste buds. Oh no, this is the problem with sausages, that we don't always have control over the spices in sausages. But hopefully, maybe if you have a bit of hello, Richard. If your sausages are a bit too spicy, that's when you want to either put them in some bread or have them with some mash to kind of tone down the spice. Or I think Mum is going to be supplying my sausages with some plum sauce to dip them into, which makes them a bit sweeter and takes away some of the hot spice. Green bean through the bean slicer plus garlic powder, salt, pepper. Sounds delicious, Shell. Michael, I know Richard's just decided he's just going to wander into shop whenever he feels like it. We're all a bit behind, because I was running late for my international customers at Celador. Dad had to look after them for me for the first hour they were here, which was lovely, and I think they really enjoyed spending time with Dad. But I think that's set him back in his evening routine of jobs to do. What else are people saying? Anne's beef cheeks were a bit too salty, but the wine washed it away nicely. A bean slicer. All right, excellent. I'm going to let you guys talk about bean slices. I'm going to talk about Shiraz. The colour is amazing. Pete's come to get some. Here you go, Pete. You need wrong shot glass. I'm not giving you Shiraz in a Pinot Noir glass. I just told everyone here that they're not allowed to have Shiraz in a Pinot Noir glass. So you're not. Nareem, you missed the sausage brief. Butter chicken pies and salad post. That'll be nice afterwards. Butter Did you hear him say, oh, Jesus, as he walked off to the glass room? Not very impressed with me. But anyway, have the critics come around to this wine yet? No. We didn't have one on tasting at the show on Tuesday, Craig. And no, the critics haven't come around to it. I don't even bother taking it to Sydney anymore because whenever I do, people go, oh, this is it. And exactly the opposite of what you just said, Michael. They go, oh, it's not like Barossa Shiraz, is it? It's not like McLaren Vale Shiraz. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not like Hunter Valley Shiraz. No, it's like Mornington Peninsula Shiraz. So it's very bright and the tannins are very silky for Shiraz. Oh, we're back on sausages. Peter and Karen tried for beef sausages, but ended with pork and fennel. That would be, pork and fennel sausages would be delicious with the wine and with mash. Oh, well done, Sue and Jeff. Yes. Massman curry for you, Loans. Excellent. Lots of plum. Sounds good. All right. So beautiful deep colour. And the nose is gorgeous, even though I'm a little bit stuffed up. I can still smell it. It's got this gorgeous, for me, it's got this gorgeous black currant, blackberry, sort of juby kind of a nose, which sort of reminds me of those black currant pastilles, which used to be one of my favourite lollies when I was a kid, which says something about me. I like the sweets that taste like lollies. Alison Lisa runs to glass room. Excellent. No, if you can get another glass, if you're drinking it out of a Pinot glass and you can't get another glass, a glass shaped more like that, you will find this wine is so much more delicious in it. The Pinot glass, I don't know what kind of makes it a bit more diffuse or something. I'm not really sure. The spice is gorgeous. There's a little bit of pepper spice in there, but there's also sort of cardamom pods, a little bit of coriander seed, there's almost a little bit of I can't remember which one it was. Was it maybe the Magic Stalk Shiraz? It was one of the Shirazes that we had recently when we did curry. It had this little curry leaf kind of a note to it, which is what makes a kangaroo snag when it trips on shrooms? Oh, David. Fiona, still waiting for the peppercorn taste to dissipate from dinner. Works well with the wine, but trying to work out what is wine and what is food. Sure. The wine, for me, has got more black pepper on the nose than it does on the palate. On the palate, it's got this lovely kind of medium weight. As I think Kay said, really silky tannins. They're there. They're definitely there. There's a little bit of Amaro kind of Negro Amaro, Negroni kind of bitterness in there as well, sort of bitter chocolate or bitter cocoa powder, a little bit of star anise, absolutely, Jackie. It's quite exotic and without being big and heavy, and that's why I think the exotic spices are reminiscent of something from Barossa. Jill's brought me sausages. Yay! Thank you, Jill. She had to pause because she needed me to announce them.
Yes.
Oh, wow, look at that.
We have Kate.
Hang on, you need to come into the shot.
No, I can't. Haven't done the hair.
Oh, she's not very happy with her hair today.
Tonight, no. But we've got Kate's plum sauce. Whoops. And a kangaroo sausage or two.
Yeah.
And some Swiss brown mushrooms.
Thank you, Jill. How am I supposed to eat it? With my fingers?
With your fingers. And
Excellent.
then you can wipe it with that.
Good. Thank you,
Mum. I don't like Shiraz, so I won't be having that combination.
Can you hear Jill? She doesn't like Shiraz. She's not going to be drinking Shiraz tonight. She's got a lovely glass of possibly Chardonnay if she feels like having some wine. And if she wanted some Pinot, I'm sure Richard would get her some Pinot as well, because that's the kind of husband and wife team they are. And on that note, what's the anniversary, Jill? 56. Jill and Richard are celebrating their 56th wedding anniversary tomorrow. So here's to Jill and Richard. Not that Jill would be very impressed at being toasted with Shiraz, but that's all I've got in my glass. So She thinks I might be damning her to, no, Richard, you can't have Shiraz in that glass. You need to have it in one of these glasses. We've just had a big conversation about it, and everyone who had Pinot Noir glasses have run to the glass room and got a Magnum glass or a Shiraz glass, and they say that the wine smells and tastes much better in the appropriate glass. So I didn't let Peter have wine in a Pinot glass. So I'm being very, very bossy today. Oh gosh, yes, happy anniversary indeed. Dave, you were absolutely on the money. Sure, I'm gonna have a little mushroom because they smell yummy. Oh yum, lots of salt, lots of mushroominess. Yum. So Craig is asking, I once said this was our insurance for climate change. Is each vintage getting better every year? It's here, Richard. There's none in that bottle. It's in a decanter. Here you go.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Richard, everyone's saying congratulations. They haven't got there yet. It's not till tomorrow. They might split up tonight over the Shiraz.
We're feeling a bit nervous.
Polly, what? Feeling a bit nervous? Yeah.
56 years ago. Bit nervous.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Seems to be working
well
out.
done.
We're getting used to each other.
Go get Jill a nice glass of wine. Very good. A lovely umami note, good with meaty flavours. All right, Fiona, you have inspired me to have some meaty flavours. So Jill got these kangaroo sausages. She said they're good. It was Jill's idea to have kangaroo sausages. I've dipped it in some plum sauce. Pretty good. Pretty good kangaroo sausages. I know, Paul. Haven't you had any dinner? That's dreadful. I've got Tallulah right underneath my plate with her mouth open, looking up at me, and Polly's just shouting at me because they both want kangaroo sausage. So, I think, did Richard do his hair for the cameo? No, he didn't. He's less vain than Jill. He's more confident in his rugged good looks than Jill is. So I love the combination of, the bright fruit. Your dog's just here, Pete, waiting for sausage to fall in her mouth. No. You have to come and get it. You have to come on camera, Pete, to come and get it. Come here, Tallulah. Come on. Tallulah wants to be on telly, don't you? On telly. Come and get it. Bye, Tallulah. They're all very shy, aren't they? All right. See you, Pete. Right, let me get back to the food and wine match because now I've forgotten what it tasted like, so I have to do it again. Sausage. Plum sauce. Wine. Perfect. So the wine brings out the plummy, blackcurranty, blackberry flavors in the wine, but also the wine makes the sausage taste meatier and more umami flavored. It's pretty delicious. And I think, oh, good, Cotty, your pepper overload has gone. The wine is like velvet. It is delicious. I think it's better with food than it is on its own because on its own, it kind of, for me, it smells delicious. And then on the palate, it's medium bodied. You get that nice fruity bit at the front palate, and then it sort of fades away a little bit and then comes back again. But then you put it with the meat, and that gives it this like weight on the palate, brings up the tannins and the weight and the texture on the palate, and it works really, really well. So better with the food. Makes the sausages taste meatier. I think it makes the mushrooms taste meatier as well, but also bit of butter in those mushrooms too, which is yummy. Brings out the umami. savouriness of the mushrooms and the fruitiness of the wine and the spice of the wine as well comes out more with the mushrooms. So it's a pretty awesome food and wine match. Who would expect anything less? There you go, Polly. Who would expect anything less from Jill with her wine and food matching suggestions? It's really good. Used to be a great restaurant that made Bambi and Thumper sausages. Excellent. Would it make a vegan sausage taste meatier? Shell, it would probably make a vegan sausage taste more like a vegan sausage, I'm afraid. I think that my experience with the vegan sort of substitute meat is that it doesn't really the wine doesn't make it taste meatier because it's not meaty. It makes the saltiness and the herbs that they put into it sort of stand out more. The ones that I've had, I haven't had extensive experience with them. I've had corn sausages before, didn't like them. There you go, Paul. Is there a wine match for tofu? I haven't found it yet, Craig. Maybe we'll work on that. I did make salt and pepper tofu once and thought that it might work really well with Pinot Noir or Shiraz, and it didn't. So probably with tofu, I would usually drink white wine. I'd probably have like a Pinot Gris or a slightly fruity Riesling or even a Gewurz. Oh, Michael, get well, Kate. I'm off to Rwanda, so away for a few weeks, but look forward to tasting retrospectively. Michael, thank you for popping in to say hi. I'm feeling better already, and I did take a hay fever tablet just before we started because I started getting really snuffly. So I'm thinking that maybe that's what's going on today. Fingers crossed. Thank you, Michael, and I will take your I'll take your advice on getting jabs next week if I manage to dodge this bullet. Missing people's comments. So bright and fresh at 7 years. I totally agree, Kay. It's very youthful still, and that's why I was talking about a quick decant rather than a slow decant, because I think it just needs a little bit of air in it to make it open up. But it's certainly not. It certainly doesn't have a lot of tertiary characters in it. For those of you who have done your WSETs, it's not particularly savoury. It's still very bright and fruity and pretty delicious. And I reckon I agree, Kay, that it would go for at least 10 years. It's 7 years old now. 3 years is not going to make it fall off a cliff at all. I think it's probably a much more likely to be sort of a 15, 20-year wine. But it depends what you want. I really like the brightness of fruit in this wine. And I think with too much age, you'll lose that vibrancy and that brightness. And I think that will take away from the charm of the wine. Polly, it's quite difficult for me to talk to people on Drinks with Kate when you're constantly barking at me. Have you not had any dinner?
Yes, she has.
Have you had dinner, have you? And you want more sausage? She's telling me that I should not have gone away for 3 nights in a row and then come back and been working ever since I got back, and I haven't even had time to sit on the sofa and cuddle with her yet. I'm a very bad dog mother. It does taste like a bub. It does have very nice legs. You're right, David. Or are you talking about me? What? Hang on. Now, what's going on? I'm losing the track of the conversation. Shaozing Craig goes well with. No, David, I haven't found anything that Shaozing goes well with, so sorry about that. It's just not my kind of thing. Peter and Karen, yeah, I think Pinot Gris goes well with salt and pepper tofu. Will you see the Gorillas? Alison, are you talking about the band? And have I missed something? I'm confused. I might have missed a question or a comment earlier on in the thing. 10 more years, by the way. Oh yes, Kate, absolutely, another 10 years for sure. Jeff's feeling happy. He's got 3 more in the cellar. So glad spring's here. Yes, Jackie. It's so the vines are outrageously growing. I'm going to put a picture on. Go and see Jill now. Have that. Go see Jill. Jill's got something for you. Go on. Spoilt dog. Oh, in Rwanda. Thank you, Alison. Yes. Okay, got it. I thought you were asking me if I was going to see the band The Gorillas in concert, and I was like, oh, who talked about what? I love that. So 2017 McIntyre Shiraz, very much made the same way as we're making Shiraz today. 19 is our current release, so it's only a couple of years younger. A couple of years older than the current release. But that couple of years, I think, has just let it kind of soften out and relax a little bit and fall into itself. But I think that the tannin structure is really, really interesting. And a few people have mentioned the tannins. Because it's 100% whole bunch ferment, then we get more tannin. But those tannins are really silky and very, very delicious. And the whole bunch ferment also in a ripe year, and 2017 was quite a warm year, Dad.
Very small crop.
Very small crop.
Good ripeness.
Good ripeness. Yeah.
Shiraz was good.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the Shiraz from 17, and I think you can see that it's not particularly leafy. When it's younger, it sometimes has a little bit more of a capsicum-y, leafy kind of a note, but that's kind of fallen away, and it's just that lovely blackcurrant, blackberry fruit, that beautiful. I really think there's a very strong bitter cocoa kind of a note to it as well, which I think is rather lovely. Really good. David's descending to the dark red wine. Good work. You'll come back to Pinot, don't worry. It'll be okay. Jackie's enjoying it. Black currants, balanced currants, really yum. Do we have much left? We have enough to sell you some, Jackie. We've got a few cases in the museum. And one of the reasons that we decided to look at this wine for this box is that we do have a little bit to sell. So if you want some, give Leonie a call. She'll get you sorted. But we'll also we've sort of been a little bit slack on making links for you to order things on, because we're putting all of our time and effort into getting the new website written and programmed and put together. So the best way to buy some of this Shiraz is to give Leonie a call or Liz a call in Celador, and they'll be able to sort you out. Or send them an email, celador@moorooducestate.com.au, or send me an email, kate@moorooducestate.com.au, and we'll sort you out. It's I think beautiful wine, and I think the fact that we've got a little bit in the cellar, we could do good things. Joan, good on you. Joan's forced us some dark chocolate with it. So good. I think this is one of the few dry red wines. Polly, shush. You're being very naughty. Dry red wines that I reckon would work well with very dark, slightly bitter chocolate. I think could work very, very well. How old are the Shiraz vines now? Craig wants to know, Dad. Planted in 1994, Craig. So that would make them 30 years old. Yeah. So they're doing all right. And Craig, you asked right at the beginning about Shiraz being our insurance for climate change. And I think that Richard's very happy with the Shiraz, but I think that the Nebbiolo insurance for climate change. And I think that Richard's very happy with the Shiraz, but I think that the Nebbiolo vines are our other little secret weapon, hopefully, against climate change. So, and we've got a couple of other things that we'd like to plant when we replant the Cabernet block later this year. we're thinking about, can I say, Dad? Can I say what we're thinking about? I think I've mentioned it actually before. We're thinking about Blaufränkisch. I think we're thinking about Menthea, that lovely little grape variety that we tasted from McLaren Vale a few weeks ago. We think that could be quite fun. We're thinking about Grenache, but I think we're thinking less about Grenache these days. Maybe not. Dad looks like he's still thinking about Grenache. Dad's still thinking about Grenache. Cool climate Grenache. It's a cool thing, man. So Dad said it's going to be a warm climate in 20 or 30 or 40 years, or next year maybe. So David's drinking up. He subscribes to Jill's series of Shiraz. I know. I think if you've got to drink Shiraz, it's a pretty good Shiraz, even if you think you don't like Shiraz. It reminds me, Michael was saying a Northern Rhone like La Chapelle. I think these wines have a similarity to Northern Rhone wines, but they've also got a very they've got a Northern Rhone character to them, but they've also got a Mornington Peninsula character and a little bit of an Australian accent to them. So I think that would be fun. Alison, I love Menthea. I think it's really good. Craig, I don't think we need to steal any vines from Germany. The Blaufränkisch is Austro-Hungarian, but it's available in Australia now. Grenache, got it, Kay. Grenache in Canberra. So, yeah, we think it could do quite good things. Oh, you bought a case after the last tasting, Michael? I think the Menthea is delicious. We're super happy about that. David Inchley, 21, 16, lol, 26, 20. What? Hang on. David, we spent 115 bottles, K, for 2016 Pimpernel Shiraz last week. Maybe it's starting. Oh, my God. What? I'm losing it. Kay said something about drink. Oh, okay, right. Okay, got it. David and Kay are having a private conversation. I think this wine is opening up really nicely with beautiful, almost cinnamony, nutmeggy kind of spice notes as well. Red licorice strap. I like that, Paul. Red licorice straps as well. It's the abyss of dark red. I get it, Kay. I got a bit confused for a minute there. But yes, so the new planting's going in spring. I know it feels like spring already, but it is still winter for another week and a half. And we're planting mostly Pinot Noir in the new planting, but a few things to play around with. I keep saying that we should think about some white wines that might also save us if Chardonnay keeps failing because of hail during flowering and fruit set, but we haven't really agreed on anything white that is more of a warmer climate style of white wine that all of us want to grow and drink. So who knows what will happen. I don't think, Craig, we're planning to plant Zinamavro at the moment, but that was a nice wine last night. Have you thought about Zinamavro, Dad? Zinamavro. Yeah. It's the Greek Nebbiolo. It was good, wasn't it, guys? No, well, Richard said he's never even heard of it. So he should have come to dinner with us in Sydney last night. We had a very lovely one. Fiona, the white wines that I'm pushing for are all cool climate white wines, white varieties like Gewürztraminer and Chenin Blanc, which would be lovely. But if we're looking for things that are going to maybe work better when things get warmer, then we've got to think about Fiano maybe. I don't know, other southern Mediterranean varieties. Fiano is probably the one that kind of comes to mind for me because I quite like the Italian Fianos. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Bye, Jill. We can see your hair now. It's not that bad, is it? It looks pretty good to me. Fiona, I want to do Shannon, but and Shannon also, I mean, they grow it in South Africa. It does quite well in a warm climate. So, who was saying there's some good stuff? Our good friend Nick was telling us that there's some good Shannon from Barossa as well. So Dad might be coming around to Shannon. Who knows? Watch this space, I say. So back to Shiraz. We did pull a bit of Shiraz out to be able to plant the Nebbiolo. So I hope you're not too upset with us about that. Maybe try the Clockwork Orange Dripper approach with Shiraz. That's what Fiona did to you in your sleep. Oh, Alison, you don't like Chenin Blanc? Oh, I thought you were excited about Chenin Blanc. Fiona's excited about Chenin Blanc. Don't think, Alison, cheap Western Australians Chenin Blanc or cheap Rutherglen Chenin Blanc. Think really classy Loire Chenin Blanc, really classy South African. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be too floral. I promise. I think the Western Australia ones, the Hortons White Burgundy kind of Chenin Blancs, were made like Sauvignon Blanc and didn't get enough love, so they're a bit too floral. Like a lot of Pinot Gris is too floral as well. I get it, Alison. I totally understand. Kay, I was the same with Sauvignon Blanc and have seen the light. Okay, we've turned you on to some expensive Chenin Blanc. Very, very good Chenin Blanc from South Africa. Oh, you had one, Nareem, last night from Rustenburg. Yeah, there's some good ones. I will see if we can find any South African Chenin Blanc to make as a guest wine for us at some stage in the not too distant future. So Dan's going to join Craig. So Craig's got a new wine society that he's started up called the Northern Beaches Wine Society, and I think he's accepting applications. See what happens when Drinks with Kate people actually get together IRL and have dinner. It's all cute. We will turn you, Alison, don't worry. But in the meantime, I think that we're doing quite well turning people onto cool climate, Mornington Peninsula, Shiraz. Craig, I will get a PO up there. Can I join? Good work, Kay. Craig, I think you've created a monster. Possibly Dan has created a monster for you. Number one for White Rioja. The world needs more Tempranillo Blanco in it. Yeah, possibly. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll look at that. Bit of Vura. Anyway, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I think I'm fading fast. It's been too much partying for the last week. And I tell you what, last night, all that lamb, I had slow cooked lamb, lovely dreams all night last night while I was sleeping in my hotel room in Sydney. It was lovely to see you guys, my Sydney team, anytime in the future. So we'll try and do a Melbourne Drinks with Kate dinner sometime before the end of the year. Maybe you Mornington Peninsula guys kind of get to come along to the lunches at the restaurant pretty often. But don't forget that there's a dinner tomorrow night in Sorrento. I know that Kay's coming, so if anyone's looking for something fun to do tomorrow night, Audrey's is doing a Moorooduc dinner. Hopefully, I will be less husky and less sneezy tomorrow night. But we'll do something in Melbourne sometime soon. We'll do something in Sydney again, hopefully before the end of the year. And we'll get that trip I'm thinking it's going to be a trip to Adelaide organised because I'm in charge and that's what I want to do with you lot next year. So trip to Adelaide next year. It's going to be awesome. See you all. And Cotty and John, where are you going? 3 to 4 weeks. Are you going overseas? just going away, go on holiday. Have a lovely wherever you're going. Don't remind me, Fiona was previous. What? Coddy, enjoy some time away. See you later, everyone. See you next week. We're going to be doing the 2022 Pinot Gris, which I previewed yesterday, Tuesday in Sydney. It's very good. WA, have fun, Coddy. Take care. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Gotta go before I sneeze again.